What's up? What's up? What's up? Thank you once again for joining us on our podcast. This is Emilokan Olani as always, and I have with me Leia Kinlagun, Mayor Crown, Ekundaya Kinwumi, and Emmanuel Ade. Today we'll be talking about Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his political aspirations to be the president of Nigeria. And then we are going to be looking at it from different sides. We know that Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as he was originally known, is a two-time governor of Lagos State, and there's a lot of records about the things he did while he was governor, how he was able to make internally generated revenue, set the blueprint for development in Lagos and most of the Southwest, and how he has been able to, control a lot of the politics and power that exist in the western part of Nigeria. And 8 years ago, he was able to consolidate that power on the national level by supporting the sitting president in winning the election. But at the end of the day, he came a few months ago and he said something that made a lot of people worry. He said Emilokan, which implies that it is a stunt. And then one would wonder that, okay, yes, you have invested so much in the politics, you have served, you have supported a lot of people, but is the presidency of Nigeria really something that we should use to reward you as an individual, to say, oh, now is your turn? Is it about turn or competence? Is it about your personal desire and ambition, or what is best for the nation? And these are some of the topics we'll be talking about today. And we'll try to look at it from different angles, and then we'll be able to conclude. Not to be able to convince anybody to vote for him or not vote for him, but just examine the issues surrounding his intentions to be president, and for people to have more information and have a clear mind in who they want to vote for. So I think that's where we're going to pick it up from today.
Nice. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much, Emilokan. Continuing from where you stopped, one of the things I would like to talk about is the fact that we've seen should I call him His Excellency, or should I just say Bat? We've seen him at events, programs, we've seen him at occasions, and one of the things we realize is that our father in the political side has a tendency of either forgetting words or forgetting plans and ideas and notions in which he has come to speak to people about. We've realized this, and we've seen him model up words which bring about people asking, is he competent enough mentally to be able to, rule a whole nation if he's having issues with just remembering words and putting them in the right order. And one of the things people also kind of talk about is the fact that he can't actually, or he hasn't been able to pinpoint ideas that would actually convince the people enough that he really does know what he's talking about. Unlike the other political candidate, Mr. Obi. One of the issues is found with Uncle Bat is the fact that even when he was in a more organized campaign, in the midst of newscasters and things like that, I don't want to mention names, he was asked some questions, and instead of him being the person talking about the results or talking about the changes he wished to bring to the nation, he would rather call people who had failed at the position in which they are presently and ask them to profess solutions, and then they'll be like, yeah, that's my guy.
But do you know that that's trait of leadership, when you can also distribute questions to people that that are capable to answer?
It's a trait, but he didn't give us any perfect solution by himself.
But looking at his track record over time, I'm sorry to interject. Mm-hmm. Looking at his track record over time, this guy has proven to be a leader over time. He has not failed as a leader, even in leadership position, even in being the governor of Lagos State, and even after leaving the position and looking at the people that came after him, the structure he had after is what the success we enjoy today in Lagos. So I can't really fault him fine, it's understandable when we want our president to speak. But at the same time, let's look at it from another angle that, probably, he knows what, because you can't tell me that as Tinubu is now, he doesn't know the right word to say or doesn't know how to put it. All those other words that people use all those other words people use against him.
Yeah.
The Baba Blue and the rest. I'm looking at it as a strategy just to win the heart of people and make him trend more. Because I will tell you, I'm listening.
You know that Buhari actually had this issue because one of the things that stands against Buhari to date is that he doesn't talk to the people. And even when he talks to the people, he doesn't talk in line of what he's saying. So why is Tinubu's own any different? Why should he be given the opportunity? Why Tinubu was even younger? He spoke about things. I can remember rallies from when he was younger.
And he's still speaking about things. And he's still speaking about
things. He backed them up. He was able to talk to people about what he wanted to do. He had agendas.
Are you saying he has stopped speaking now? Yeah, I don't see it that way.
How many things he don't talk now?
He has a plan. No, the thing here is that we are not ready to give this. I don't know, but we've given him a chance or a few chances over time, and he has not failed. Because looking at, he has done so many things for Lagos, and just imagine if we can give him that chance to do it for Nigeria. Just imagine how better Nigeria will be today, or be in the future, rather. I'm sorry to say, it will be in the future. So let's give this man time. Fine, you want him to speak, he's speaking. I don't know which other way you want him to speak.
I needed him to speak convincing.
Doesn't have track record that is convincing. Let me ask that question.
Bro.
I think in my
it's a competition. We are going to choose the best offer.
But
I would choose the best offer. I would choose the best offer based on records. Because when he was in Senate, it's not like he did bad. When he was the governor of Lagos State, and for 2 tenure, this guy did a lot of achievements, even being a governor, and even as a leader behind closed door. When he had other people that came after him, the likes of Fashola, what Fashola did in Lagos, then after Fashola and Bote. Fine, many people might say Sanwo-Olu did not do much work, but at least we can still see 1 or 2 things going on in Lagos, which is developed. See, there's one thing we say most times is that, when the president come and go, we'll say, I wish we are meeting the last president. I wish the last president. I don't know if you are getting my point. When it was Jonathan, and Buhari entered, we said we're missing Jonathan. When it was Yar'Adua, we said we're missing Yar'Adua when Jonathan came. So it's like a backward movement for as the presidency is all about. But looking at it in Lagos State in terms of the governorship aspect of it, after Tinubu, we can never say we miss Tinubu because Fashola came and did better. And after Fashola Bode came and did better. Lagos State has been a continuous process, and this man has been the art of it. So I don't know why we are saying let's give this man a chance.
To your point, Lexi, and I would disagree with you a little bit too in terms of the eloquence part, but to the point that Lexi is making right now, there is this thing that we are used to in Nigeria, for instance, especially when it comes to Tinubu. When you talk about something bad happening in Lagos, we are quick to mention Tinubu's name.
Exactly.
This thing happens, it's Tinubu. They are stealing money, it's Tinubu. Who owns toll gate is Tinubu. Who caused this is Tinubu. But then, at the same time, we are always reluctant to attribute the successes of Lagos to Tinubu. We often make it look as if those things happen, those good things happen in spite of him. But every bad thing that is happening is because of him. So there's this tendency to always associate Tinubu with the bad things, which is not fair anyway. Is either he has no powers at all, or he should take the glory and the blame at the equal measure. On the topic of his eloquence, his ability to fine, it's always captivating when you sit down and you listen to a leader like Obama. When he says things, you'll be like, wow. Even Fashola, anytime I see Fashola in an interview, I'm always very intrigued. I'm always interested in listening to what he has to say, because I know, even though I know at the back of my mind that he's a politician, but he will state facts, he will state it clearly, and it will make you kind of at ease with what he's saying. It makes things very believable. the reality of it is that is one thing that we are worried about with Tinubu. Oh, his inability to be eloquent. But it's just unfortunate that it is the way now with Tinubu. I remember Tinubu back a few years ago. Tinubu is the kind of person that doesn't need to check his speech or his paper before he answers a question.
That is the guy we all know.
He could answer your questions on the spot and give you exact all the information you need. As a matter of fact, I can even say
that no, you can't do that.
Exactly. The Fashola we know today is like who Tinubu was in the past. But even if we say that is true, that some things have gone with age, but I don't think that the head on his shoulder has changed in the sense of his capacity to rule, to lead, or to effect the change that we want in Nigeria. And I really want to hear what Dio has to say on this topic too, because I feel like being eloquent is important, but it doesn't necessarily mean, it doesn't determine competence in the overall capacity of a person to put things into action and get it done. On the part of, he was delegating questions to his people to answer. On one part, I feel like that is wrong. They asked you the question, you should be able to answer. But at the same time, I guess what he was trying to exhibit was the fact that he has people around him and he doesn't have to do everything by himself. That's just my
opinion. Regardless, the competency has shown that these guys who you are pointing the questions at, even presently have not delivered much on that. And I think the issue with Lagosians wanting to call BAT at problems and issues that goes on in the state is because of the fact that they know that he's the godfather there. It's not like they don't see him. There are a lot of people who attribute success of Lagos State to BAT, which is intriguing and is the truth, is the fact. But when there's issues as well, it's the same set of people that are like, wow, Baba is the godfather of this town. So because there's a particular success rate that they've rated to him, that's why they can equally call him and be like, there's no way something this heavy would happen in Lagos State without Tinubu knowing about it. So I think regarding that, that is one of it. But we are here basically to talk about the presidency and the state. So hopefully we'll be able to
so like you're saying, back to the question of presidency. The next thing I want us to look at is, especially with what Lexi talked about, in terms of how we always tend to look back in Nigeria to say, we wish we had the previous person. Each time we always wish. As a matter of fact, there was a time under Obasanjo era that we were wishing we had military back. And when Obasanjo left, Yar'Adua came, we were wishing it was Obasanjo, just like Lea stated already.
Funny enough, Yar'Adua was one of the coolest regime, like it was just there. There was no forward or backward.
With Yar'Adua, no. The thing with Yar'Adua is he did not stay long enough for us to criticize him. That's just the reality. I feel like we were still in the honeymoon period with Yar'Adua when his major health issues started, and then by the time everything all ended, it was just like, we miss this person. It's just like when you are still in love with your girlfriend when she dumps you. But if you guys have been in the relationship for long enough and you have seen each other's flaws, the pain will be less because you feel like she was this anyway, she was that anyway. So I feel like that's the same thing with government in Nigeria. We always tend to get to that point where, this one, I wish it was the last person. So now back to the question. Let's talk about the issue of education. Bola Ahmed Tinubu's plan for education. He talked about basically a system of privatization where students would have access to student loans to be able to go to school. I would like to hear what you think about this idea and the feasibility of such an idea in this Nigerian environment where you introduce student loans. And I feel like it's an avenue to ameliorate the issue of ASU going on strike. Like, when students have access to student loans, they can pay exorbitant school fees. And then when they pay exorbitant school fees, they can pay lecturers out of the money they are paying. So what is your opinion on this?
If it is actually possible, it will be nice. Possible in the sense that we see something like this being run in Western world, and let's take US for example, where students finish their high school and then they go to college and then they get their funds and then they have to pay back after school and stuff like that. The positive part is you will want study, yes, you'll be able to go ahead and then you'll be able to finish your education at the long run. You'll be able to get what you want. Now, I feel bringing it down to Nigeria, the aspect of graduating and getting jobs in order to pay back these loans, unless it's because it's basically not the grants, it's like you have to pay it back. So now, getting the job to pay back in Nigeria is one thing. So it's a good idea, but there has to be a follow-up. There has to be a part of you finish from school. The government has to get at least, if it's a form of legible privatization in the country that make things work, or the government starts working on jobs, opportunity for people that finish from school. So people don't get stranded, because it's one thing to have loan. It's another thing to be watching your business grow. So that part has to be taken care of. It's a very lovely idea. Nigerians love education. My God, we love it.
But in my own opinion, if you say, okay, you want to privatize education, in that, obviously, the policy is not intended to privatize education. It's not like they're going to sell Unilag and sell OAU or anything. So let me use the right concept here. Say you want to, you are going to basically remove the subsidy from education. For instance, throughout my years in Unilag, I think school fees was like 9.5 or something. Obviously, that tuition did not. It was just like attendance money. It's not really tuition. Sometimes when I discuss with people how much I actually paid for 4 years BSc in Nigeria, they'll be like, "Are you serious? You paid 9,500 for a year in school." In fact,
but the truth is that Matomi must hear this one and know that if truly you have been collecting just 9.5 from her for school fees.
9.5 is like the school fees of Unilag is like public information now. You get. Obviously, there will be other things where you can get extra money from. You want to buy,
it's not like Latsu.
Want to buy political philosophy today. Tomorrow you buy Aristotle. As if Aristotle is not part of political philosophy. But back to my point. The reality of it is, by the time you say you want to give people access to student loans, you are basically, that is step one in removing the subsidy that you are granting in education. Because you are talking about fuel subsidy now. There's no way you want to say you are giving people student loans to go to school just because they want to go and pay 9,500 per year. That is not the tuition that you intend to finance with student loans.
Only Unilag carried that in that year.
But you know, the average tuition that federal universities pay is not as high anyway. Even if it's more than, I don't even know if Unilag still pays. Even if Unilag is paying 25k per semester right now or per session, it's still nothing compared to what schools like Covenant University charge their students now. So at the end of the day, by the time you say you want to give people student loans, obviously you are not giving people that can afford Covenant University student loans. The intention is to give students that will go to federal universities or state university student loans. So that means you are going to basically remove the subsidy that you had on education and tuition so that you can replace it with student loans, and so that you don't have to be the one financing those universities anymore. Then we as students or individuals that go to those schools would now be the ones financing everything. To your point, number one issue is how in an environment where the jobs are not there, you are only trying to improve the number of people that will go into the workforce. Graduates will increase. Good. Education is beautiful. But then where are the jobs you are going to give those people for them to be able to pay back the loans? How are you going to be able to ensure that somebody that you have given student loans to do his bachelor's degree is not going to end up running away to another country when he graduates? he's not going to Japa, and by the time he goes to UK, all he has to do is ask Unilag to send his transcript. Are you going to say you're going to hold on to his transcript until he pays student loan that can take 10 years? You get that kind of thing. So obviously you send his transcript. By the time you send his transcript, how are you going to be able to track him down to pay that loan? It doesn't make sense. For those who don't have the opportunity to leave the country, right now, because you don't have student loans as a graduate, if they offer you 50k salary in a job, it is not enough. You may still consider it. But add student loans to that situation, you will not even be able to take that job. Because you start asking yourself, the moment I start getting income, government says you now have a job. They want out of it. I'd rather not get any, or I'd rather wait to have a high-paying job, or not even get any job at all. Because I'd rather tell the government I don't have a job, so I can't pay back. Rather than I have a little job and you still want to take out of it. So all those things, I feel like those are some of the issues that we are kind of sweeping under the carpet on this question of student loans for government. I don't know if you want to add something to that.
Yeah.
All right. Concerning the student loan, it's a good idea, but there's no means of paying back, and I feel that for us to set up, for something like this to be able to be, for something like this to be set up, then there should be a means whereby after school or after graduation, there should be a means of job. There should be job creation too, not just student loans. There should be job creation. I think most reasons why people leave this country, they say they are the jackpot, is because there are no good jobs that are compensating for your stress. Like you say, you are going to work, you are working for something, but you are not being compensated for that. You are not being well compensated for the job you are doing. So that's what I can.
Don't you think?
I can say we should.
Don't you think it's even better to create those jobs first before you even talk about the question of student loans at all?
Bringing about the loan, yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. That it needs to be created before we can start talking about student loan.
Exactly.
So if it is created, if job opportunities are created, and yes, something like student loan comes up, it is fine. Everybody will take it up. Then, thank God we have BVN. BVN should be a means of tracking anybody who is having loan that is yet to be paid and wants to jackpot. So they can track you down to know if you want to jackpot and you are still owing the country.
Oh yeah, so tell me, Mayor, because I collected student loan from federal government now, I cannot go to UK to go and do masters.
You cannot go and you cannot leave the country until you have paid back every time you are owing.
But do you know that, okay, if I look at it from the system here, student loan payments can take up to 10 years. So that means it is basically the moment you get a student loan, that person is in bondage for that 10 years.
The person is definitely, the person is in, so everybody, they need to know the risk involved.
What is even better to go and collect Lapo loan now. Because those ones, they won't seize your passport, you can still travel.
Because if we say we should not do anything about it, then Nigeria will still continue in the same phase it has always been.
Yeah, Daya is back with us. I really want to hear Daya's opinion on this topic too.
All right.
Student loan or no student loan, job security or no job security. Let's give Tinubu a chance. You think we'll be able to access that loan and be able to get good jobs, because this guy knows how to create jobs and he knows how to create wealth. So let's give him that chance. For me, the best bargain we can have now is to give Baba that
but
chance.
Wait, Lexi, I'm actually surprised at your position on this topic because I feel like this is the first time I'm hearing Lexi
it's the switch for me.
talk about Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I think one of the factors responsible for Lexi's change in opinion is because he has Jackpa.
No, see, big devil, small devil, all of them are devil. I don't know Peter Obi. I know Article 2, not to like, Article 2 to me has not ruled. He has not been in a position to lead. The highest he did was being a vice president. And even being a vice president was never an active president, unlike even Asiwaju. So to me, does not have that track record of leading. But this other person we are talking about, apart from the age factor that we are maybe a bit bothered about, man, this guy has done it over time, and even over time. So let's just see it. See last man now. Last man came during his time, and today I know of two people. Mayor can testify to this. I know of two people that got last man job, and at least it's hope. You understand? There's that hope for you that okay, at the end of the month something comes in. I know that fine, there's no job out there, but creating a job for the state is something that even is a plus to that state as a whole. Now imagine going to that last stage as being the president.
Because you have seen the kind of things last man do to us on the road.
Yeah, no.
Are they things last man do to you guys on the road? That is what we call you being a Nigerian. See, everybody being a Nigerian, we have that.
You see what we're saying? So we want crazy opportunities to be created.
We always want to make an extra income. And they always want to make an extra income. Making an extra income is not the government fault. It is our individual problem in that country.
Honestly,
it is our individual problem.
I think I buy less idea.
That's the point. At the end of the day, no matter how much we talk about our leadership, we are also contributing to what our country is like. All those when you get to an office, you see people on the queue, but you want them to answer you first. You go and look for who you know. That's part of the corruption we are talking about. It's not only senators that are stealing money that are corrupt. Every little thing you do to take advantage of the system also reflects corruption, and that part is not. It doesn't even matter if it's safe as the president. I feel like it is still the responsibility of us individually to ensure that we do the right thing, no matter who.
Does it not true that it is individual movement or collective movement that the corruption is working together for organizations?
I think it's a combination of both. It's a combination of both, but at the same time, we as people have to take responsibility too. We cannot just assume that corruption would disappear. Okay, wait. Let me ask you this: the people that have been ruling us all these years, are they not Nigerians? Is it not from the people, the same people that are producing, the same followers that are producing leaders? It is the same system we are used to that we are going to exhibit when we get into the leadership positions. It's not people from Saudi Arabia that are leading us or people from America. It is our own people. So if I become a senator tomorrow, whatever I do as a leader in that position is reflective of my mindset that existed even before I got to that post. So we all have to take responsibility at some point. Like Lexi said, fine, we'll talk about creating jobs. One thing we know for sure is that Tinubu is good at that one. He can create. He created Loma, he created Lasma, he created all those small agencies, Lassa, the
Blackboard that became BLT, that is still existent to today.
He was the one that created it. So,
free zone. This one at the former Babbage, April Atlantic. So there's so many of them.
Of them. So at the end of the day, if we have somebody like that has a track record of development, of creating things out of nothing, I remember during the time that the federal government withheld the local government funds, Tinubu still found a way to create income for the state. He created income for the state, and they were still able to survive. And he still did better than all the PDP governors who were getting all their revenue. So, I believe he still has the same head on his shoulders. And like I said from the beginning, this is not a platform to campaign for him. It's
So
just to talk about
no matter how much we tend to want to talk about Tinubu, no matter how much we want to tend to talk about Atiku or Peter Obi, we're going to use the whole day, the whole week, the whole
Exactly.
month to talk about this.
It's
We
inexhaustible.
can never stop talking about this. So the only best way we can get the result we really want to do is we go out there, we get our PVC and make our PVC talk. Even though you don't like Emilokan,
Lex,
get
do
your
you have
PVC.
PVC?
And if you know, I registered, and funny enough, they brought the registration to the front of my house. So yes, I did. I registered. I was not opportune to collect it before leaving. That's the only regret I'm having now. But those of us in Nigeria right now, go collect your PVC. There's an extension already.
Funny enough, I actually have my PVC from like the last time I was in Nigeria.
So can you see? So we go get it and let's put our vote into action. So I think we need to call it a wrap.
All right. Thank you very much. I think we should just close it right here. We've been getting a lot of feedback that we should try as much as possible to get our points across within the short possible time, and that's what we want to try to do. Thank you so much for listening to us again. Next time we'll have another interesting topic to talk about, and we hope you're going to join us and we're going to share ideas together. We'll talk to you once again later. Bye-bye.